It's funny, a lot of times I'll see yellow, like just yellow, and this is the right yellow. Yeah, I mean, just, as a quick note, it's like sometimes it'll be bright or it'll be a different shade. I mean, obviously there's so many different variations, but this is 100% the right color.
Here's how I achieved that perfect Springtrap look. All right, let's talk tools. I don't have the top of the line stuff, but I'm just starting out, so I want to just get a feel for it. So I usually buy entry-level stuff to see if the hobby is something I even want to do, and then if it is, I can always invest in better tools later. So for my air compressor, I just have this 1/5 horsepower. It's a generic model, and as you can see here, I like to put little instructions on things so I don't forget later on, especially if it's a tool I don't use very often. You'll see stickers all around my shop that just remind me of the settings that I like to use. This is a compressor I got actually for my laser cutter. I use this for the airflow, and I bought it with the intention of using it for the laser cutter and in the future an airbrush. Again, if you can make multi-use out of something, I highly recommend that. Now, as for which airbrush to get, I reached out to my friend Alex because he professionally paints superhero suits. I mean, he worked on shows like The Boys, Doom Patrol, so I asked him which airbrush I should get, and surprisingly, rather than saying a top-of-the-line one, he recommended this Pinkaloo airbrush. It's only 25 bucks for the whole kit, and he said he's been trying to convince most of his coworkers to switch over from the really expensive brand to this because he loves it so much. And I had a great experience with it. Now, this is my first time using one, so I don't really have anything to compare it to. Maybe I'll upgrade in the future if I keep airbrushing, but for now, this thing works perfectly for my needs. Now, getting the perfect yellow color was no easy feat. At first I tried this Golden Sunset spray paint, but the color just was not right. For the second attempt, I had this crazy idea of taking a scrap of fabric to Home Depot and seeing if they could color match it and just make a little sample of yellow, which they did, and that worked out perfectly. So it proves it's always good to just think outside the bun. Now, after I painted that, it still wasn't done. I had to do the airbrushing on here, which is like this detailing of aging and weathering it, and that would be the same color I would need for the actual fabric parts of the suit as well. To do this step, I got a bunch of cheap acrylics. I just got various yellows and browns and ochres, these are like rusty colors, and did some experimenting. I thinned them out because when you put stuff in an airbrush, it's gotta be thin and watery, and I just ran some tests on a piece of scrap fabric. So you can see here all the different shades I tested. Once I had a color that I was happy with, I just busted out the airbrush and started playing with it, just to get a feel for how the trigger works, the airflow, the paint flow, how various distances would affect things. Let me show you one of my favorite pieces, which is the foot. Now for this, I really wanted to accentuate all these spaces and crevices in between the toes and the arch up here, so I just sprayed a little more heavily in those areas to really make it stand out, and then I did the dusting of the typical texture on the rest of it. Just play around with it, practice on some scrap fabric, and you'll get the hang of it in no time.